I'm going to show you how to clear Akai Katana Shin as safely as possible using a route that uses the system mechanics to make the game as consistent as possible, whether you're going for a survival run or if you're interested, meeting the no miss requirement to see the TLB. But either way, let's get into it. Akai Katana is the last horizontal shmup made by Cave, with this reflect mechanic being its primary system. It's a very love it or hate it mechanic. So for the port releases we received, Akai Katana Shin, which is very different and arguably a better version of the game. Now the game goes from 4x3 to a full 16x9, giving us a bunch of room. We get HD visuals, an extra stage, and a TLB. But most importantly, the reflect system has been replaced to instead use the katana system. We are going to heavily use this system to mitigate a ton of sections of the game. These mechanics will initially sound complicated, but their actual application in-game is very simple. So let me explain. By killing enemies with shot, we generate these orbs that build up around our ship. By killing enemies with focus by holding down shot, we generate energy that fills this timer bar. Once we have both resources, we can enter Nenshin mode. If we built up orbs with our shot earlier, we can fire off these orbs by holding focus. They will cancel bullets and kill enemies. Any enemies we shoot or kill in this mode with either our shots or orbs will generate us katanas. You can fire off these katanas which end Nenshin but do massive damage and cancel bullets. So the core loop of this game is kill enemies with shot for orbs, kill enemies with focus for energy, then once we reach a scary section, we pop Nenshin to cancel a wave of bullets, and then fire off our katanas to cancel the second wave, while also killing everything on screen. There are 3 ships, and Type B is a very strong ship in this mode with fast move speed and homing. With this ship, the orbs and katanas we shoot will fire in the opposite direction of our movement, but they default to firing straight forward, so if you want to fire forward, you can either hold no direction or hold backwards. I'm now going to show you how you can use these system mechanics to pretty much demolish any of the hard sections of this game. Let's begin the run. Now we're going to start off with some energy already at the beginning, so we don't need to build that. We're just concerned with building orbs, so we're going to be holding our shot on these initial Zakos to build as many orbs as we can. Look at this building here. If we sit on top of this turret, it can't shoot us. Watch out for these tanks on the top left. They can shoot you from behind. We generally want to be about half screen away from the enemies. That will generate us more than enough resources. We don't need to be point blanking them like a Katsui or anything. Now look at this turret and this plane up here. We're holding focus to kill those, and just make note that we killed that turret and that plane, because the next big enemies that come in, these 2 planes right here, are going to be the start of our Nenshin setup. So we talked a bit about how that kind of works, but here's how it's going to be in practice. So we generated a bunch of orbs. Here's how we actually do it. We're going to pop Nenshin, so we enter this Nenshin state where we're the humanoid here. We're going to hold focus, and that's going to shoot out all of these orbs you see here that we generated. Those are going to go forward, stopping bullets, killing enemies, and whenever they're hitting the enemies, they're generating us those katanas. Then we're going to hold those katanas for the mid-boss so we could completely kill the mid-boss. So you see here, we pop Nenshin. We're going to hold focus now, which sends these orbs forward. We're going to start at the top and slowly crawl away. You see all those katanas coming to us? We have a bunch around our ship now. We just keep going along the edge of these bullets, and as this mid-boss comes in, once it's fully entered, we pop those katanas. They cancel all the bullets. They do a shit ton of damage. We follow along behind it so that we get the gold. And now we don't have to do anything with the mid-boss. Now I'm holding focus to kill these mid-sized planes. You probably want to be further back than I am because these bottom right buildings that pop up there can shoot you. I play pretty aggressive. You want to be more back than I am. Now while we're holding focus to kill like planes like this pretty fast, the most of the Zakos we want to be killing with our shot, because going into the bosses, we're going to be holding our focus on the bosses, and that's going to be constantly generating energy. We want to bring as many orbs as we can into the bosses, because we're just going to get so much energy from holding our focus on the bosses. Now we want to kill this first boss at a specific timing. So what we're going to do is, instead of shooting him right away, we're going to start from the bottom or the top, and we're going to slowly move to the other side. Everything in this first phase is aimed, so we just keep tapping, tapping, tapping. The second one, these blue bullets are either going to shoot aimed on us or shoot right ahead of us. So just be aware of that if you have to move a bit forward. You see this big battleship pop up. We're going to start down here, and I'm going to hold shot so we can macro dodge all the way around these purple shots. I find that easier than microing around them. Now, we're going to use another Nenshin setup here. Right when these bullets are about to hit us, we're not even going to worry about these bullets. You see those orbs are going to cancel everything. And we're going to wait here. We're safe from the lasers because we're in the Nenshin mode. And we're going to pop the katanas there. That should kill the boss by there. We didn't kill it too fast because we held damage on the first phase. And because all of those boats were there, we killed it and they all gave us energy. We could usually get like 50% energy there. So going into the next stage, we don't have to worry about building energy. For our first setup, we just have to build orbs. This is the train stage. So at the end of all these train cars, if you kill that last cart, you get a bunch of resources. For these ones down here, we want to lean up to the top because see these Zakos? We want to kill those Zakos. We'll make our way back to the bottom so we're hitting all the train cars. And from this point, we just tap slowly up. We'll kill the train cars. We'll kill all the Zakos before they wall us at the top. And we have an escape route out at the top of the screen. Look at these Zakos at the top. We need to get ready. Once we kill the ones at the top, we need to stop shooting. We're getting ready to use our orbs on these here. See, we're going to hold focus after we enter Nenshin to shoot our orbs, and then we're going to stop holding focus. If we kill enemies with our laser and focus, then they're going to generate revenge bullets. So we just want to kill these with the orbs. So we just let focus go for a split second. We generate all these katanas. You see, whenever we're in Nenshin and we hold focus, you see this big blue sword in the middle. That we hold focus, we generate a portal. It will constantly shoot this wherever we generated it. So we put it in the middle so it can hit this mid-boss here. We're going to start this mid-boss at the top, tapping down and left along the side. So we move slower. It makes it easier to stream this since there's little surface area we can actually hit this boss. You see this pink wave here? That's our cue that we use our swords. I'm holding focus as we move forward just to ensure we do enough damage to kill it and be safe. We're going to hold shot. We won't be building orbs for the rest of this section. You really want to be half screen away from these enemies. If you're trying to point blank them, you risk them smacking you right away. When we're generating more than enough resources, you really don't need to be that close to the enemies. After the mid-size rush, we're going to get these Zakos from the top and then the bottom. Now, to generate enough energy for the next section, we're going to hold focus here and make a C going around all of these enemies. We have enough room to get through all of them and generate a bunch of energy. You might have noticed what we did there is we incorporated a little bit of shot in between using our energy every now and then. That's because of this hit counter here. The way this hit counter works is it's a chain. You sustain the chain by using shot, by just hitting things with shot. If you hold focus for too long, the chain drops. You can comfortably, completely ignore the hit counter and get more than enough points to get both the scoring extends. So I wouldn't even think about it in the slightest, but that's a little bit of why we're switching to shot there. Now here's our next Nenshin setup. If you need to build any orbs off this big enemy, you can. It doesn't shoot for a while. A bunch of the big enemies are like that. We see these train cars down here. That's when we're going to try to hit all of them with our orbs. We're going to last until a bunch of these bullets start coming up on top of us. We have a shit ton of katanas, and we let it go. We move forward with them. The katanas are canceling the bullets, so we can safely move forward. We get rid of that entire section. Don't even have to worry about it. Everything's aimed on this section. We have these two here. We want to probably kill the hover car before it reaches the end of this section. I'd kill the hover car first and then kill the train up top because the hover car has a nasty pattern at the very end there if you kill it too late. Don't worry if you didn't generate too many katanas coming into this boss. We'll be generating them midway through the fight. For this first pattern here, I find it easiest to dodge on the far left edge. We can make use out of this entire 16:9 space. We can see where these bullets are going to be and where a safe spot to place ourselves is in way ahead of time because of all of this room. And we're going to destroy the first phase of this boss. As soon as she pops, we need to go and hit her with shot. We're trying to generate as many orbs as we can, and now we have this pattern here. We need to misdirect these blue bullets on the middle and then the bottom. That way we're still hitting these bombs. If these bombs hit the bottom, they'll generate more bullets. We want to just be focused on dodging the red bullets. The red bullets are the only thing you're thinking about. And then when your peripheral sees the blue color of these aim shots, that's when you commit to dodging up or down based off where you are on the screen. If you're trying to dodge the blue bullets, then the red ones are going to blindside you. You're less focused on dodging the red. So we just keep alternating middle and down. Once it flips over, we do the same thing, but we're going to use more space up here. We hear that slash sound effect. These red lasers come in. We're now dodging blue bullets and not paying attention to the red. And then we just commit to moving down or up on the screen whenever we hear that laser sound effect. Just make sure you're focused on the blue. Now, we have a lot of time here to generate some orbs with our shot. We're going to actually pop Nenshin here. When we're in Nenshin, we do more damage, and the bullets are actually going way slower. So we can comfortably delete the rest of this phase by retreating backwards, and the bullets are slow and easy to deal with. Look at all of our katanas we generated. Now, these lasers will just push us back when we're in Nenshin mode. We could just get pushed back once. We now probably have more than enough katanas to let it go, and we'll kill the boss here. If you want some energy, you hold focus while killing the boss. The scoring extends in this game are at 100k and 300k. We've already gotten the first one. We're only on stage 2, and we're pretty close to getting towards the second one. So score is, even going for survival strats like this, we're getting so much. And you get a huge amount on these end stage bonuses, so we don't need to worry about it too much. Just ignore the hit counter, honestly. Now for stage 3, we're going to be at the top middle, and then whenever there's Zakos on the bottom, we'll swing down, and then we'll return to the top middle. We want to be a little bit back so we don't ram into enemies popping in from the top right. You don't need to be point blanking them. Now we have this big one here. We can sit on top of it and build a ton of orbs. You want to be doing wide taps to the left. Otherwise, you might get smacked by the blue bullets. Don't do tiny ones. We'll use Nenshin to stop this first initial wave of blue bullets. Then once we get all of our katanas, we let them go. We didn't have to dodge anything for this big enemy here. Now we're going to get these mid-sized planes. They look pretty wide with these purple shots, but you can macro around them pretty easily with your shot or even focus. Here's why you want to be using focus on big enemies, because otherwise they take forever to kill. Here's another set of them. Just look at how wide the dashes we're making are to make sure we don't accidentally get tagged by a blue bullet. Now we have the mid-boss coming in. We have a ton of orbs. Even if you didn't greed for them, we have more than enough orbs. We're going to pop Nenshin once we see these red bullets coming in on us. We're going to wait for these 3 turrets on the bottom right. That's about the time I like to shoot these off, so we kill the turrets and the boss. We're not going to be moving up right up to the boss to get the gold. We want to stay on the middle, because if the boss gets like one shot off for its next pattern and then dies, you could get blindsided by that and shot right away. There's some tanks up here at the top if you want to kill them right away and get a bunch of orbs, but we're getting a ton of them. We want to be building a little bit of energy somewhere in this section, but for the most part, we're just using shot. We're going to get Zakos on the bottom, Zakos on the top. Now you see this bridge. We're going to get a bunch of these tanks coming across, and we're going to use our Nenshin to kill all of these here. We kill all their bullets and generate a bunch of katanas. We're going to be using these katanas to take out this initial set of these rails. These rails are the hardest part of this stage. To get through them easier, we want to memorize these planes that come in. So we have this plane here. It's in the middle, then the bottom. Now we kill a rail. Now we're going to have one on the bottom, then the middle, and now we're going to get a bunch of rails along the bottom. These are the hardest ones. What we want to do is we want to be a little bit ahead of it on the left of each of these rails. So we're not point blanking them. We're about here so we can move to the left. If we're hugging along the bottom, we're hitting these as soon as they come in, and we have more than enough time to move backwards and react to their bullets, and that's how you could deal with them. These Zakos will come in, but we can ignore the rails and the Zakos. We're just slowly making our way around. That's where our homing is really nice. We are on our next Nenshin setup. We want Nenshin as soon as these bullets appear, and then as soon as we get some amount of katanas, we'll let them go, and we'll take out the entire bridge of tanks. There's going to be some remaining on the left, be aware of that. Now for the last bit of this stage, we'll start at the bottom holding focus, and we'll dodge diagonally up. By the time everything's kind of shooting at you, you're on the top left. Because that's on the opposite side of the big tank there, we have the most amount of room there. So starting at the bottom, we're doing a bunch of damage. We make it to the top where we actually do have to maybe dodge something, and it's easier on the top left side. This boss has our first initial place we might want to use a bomb. We don't have too many planned bombs, so feel free to toss them on any hard areas. This is a good spot to be prepared to bomb on. Now, just like the second boss, we're going to be hugging the left edge and dodging these, and it's going to get harder and harder. The way I want to dodge them is I like to dodge through the blue, and then I'll react to the pink afterwards. So we're looking for the blue openings, and then we'll dodge the pink secondary. This is a good place to bomb if you get in a dangerous position there. We really don't need that many. We're going to point blank them here until this train starts to shoot these blue bullets. We'll get back here, and we're going to survive for as long as we can until these cyan blue bullets cause some issues. We'll use our first hit of Nenshin to stop the rest of that pattern, and now everything is aimed on us. So while everything is slow since we're in this mode, we're going to tap down and to the right. Watch for this last wave of blue. It's kind of aimed on you weird, so you might have to manually dodge that. And then the rest of this pattern, we're going to take out with all of these katanas we generated. Because these drill into the boss and this train here, they last for so long and do an enormous amount of damage. Even if they don't kill the boss, he dies really fast after. We're going to get a little bit of orbs here. As soon as the first laser is about to hit you, we swap modes here. And if you've built a katana, you fire it off and he's dead. Otherwise, if you have energy, you just tap up like this, or even if you don't have anything at all, you just tap up in a movement like that. He dies very quickly. So just make sure you're ready to bomb on that first pattern, and then the rest of it goes down pretty cleanly once you're comfortable with it. After stage 4. Stage 4 is really cool, but it's also a huge difficulty spike. So what we're going to do is we're making a completely static movement around the whole stage to omit any difficult dodging we might have to do on it. We need to start at the top, and we're going to slowly move down. We're going to orient ourselves, waiting for that turret there, so we have enough space to not get caught here. See, these spread out pretty wide if we let them live. We need to go really slowly, and then we don't ever have to make a dodge within these. Now we start from the bottom and move up, and we have enough room. We're going to kill the sub with our focus just to make sure it dies. And now we want to start at the bottom. I'm in the middle here to kill these Zakos, but you see this big ship coming at the bottom right. You want to kill that as fast as possible. I would instead start on the bottom right and then be dodging backwards. You see what happens as these bullets spread out. You have to make a dodge through them. We want to be killing everything with focus just so it just dies, and we're waiting for these subs to appear. We're going to use these subs to generate katanas, and we can ignore all of their annoying bullets. Now, once we're comfy, we're going to shoot our katanas out. Watch out for these grenades. While our katanas kill everything, the grenades move up and down, so our katanas might not hit them and cancel them. Those are the only things that could threaten you. Look at this tank on the bottom right. If you shoot your katanas too fast, this tank on the bottom right will live. Just make sure you're at the bottom, you kill it right away before it could do anything. Now we're at the top. We tap slowly down so that these bullets aren't an issue. Tap very slowly, and now we're going to kill these. We want to kill all these with shot, but the second one's hard to hit, so I use focus to kill it. We're about to get to a mid-boss, so we want all of these orbs, so we're using shot on everything here. They might feel tanky, but you're more than enough time, more than safe. Now we're to the easiest mid-boss of the game. Everything's aimed on here. We're just tapping in one direction, and then as these blue bullets are about to hit, we'll pop Nenshin, cancel all their bullets, and then when the blue bullets are about to reach us again for this next time, then we're going to pop our katanas and everything will die. I'm holding focus here, so we generate some amount of energy, so we get resources for the next section. We're going to be holding shot here. Everything here will fall pretty easily. See, we're on the halfway point of the screen. I kept finding myself getting to the far right, and then I'll just get rammed by something. We're holding our focus on a lot of these helicopters just to get them over with and killed. We're going to kill 3 turrets in the middle and then 1 up top, and now we're safe to hit here. Just like in the last stage, we had those planes that didn't shoot anything and had a bunch of health so we could get resources off of. That's what's going to happen here a bunch. We're going to orient ourselves on this really hard second half of the stage by these, so we have key indicators on how we could deal with everything. So we're just holding shot on these, and then we're tapping back preemptively because these bullets come out pretty fast. You just want to be doing fairly heavy taps. We hold, focus, and move around slowly. Now these helicopters are coming from the bottom right. We're going to stop making that C motion. We're going to escape to the bottom. We're still holding focus so everything dies. We have more than enough room to deal with everything. Now we have some Zakos. We're going to clear these Zakos at the top. Once those Zakos at the top are done, we're going to use these tanks here for our Nenshin. We build a bunch of katanas. This big plane here, we're trying to ignore all of these big planes, so we're just going to kill it right away. Now we have our next set of a big enemy here we generate stuff off of. As these tanks come in, these tanks will escape to the left side and then shoot you from behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to dip up to kill the initial wave. We sit back on here, and then we're going to dip up again to kill the next wave, and then we hold backwards. By doing this timing, they're not only don't get behind us, but we aren't going to ram into these helicopters here on the bottom right side. We're very slowly moving around and holding laser. Don't worry, you have more than enough room. I've never gotten clipped there before. These carriers here, you really need to be, you do not want to be point blanking them. You want to be in front of them. Look at these planes here. They're very close to the hitbox. You want to be in front of them. You're still generating a ton of orbs. Just make your way around and you can cleanly escape out the top. Here is the hard shit. So this is what we prepared for. We have a bunch of orbs. As soon as we're scared, we just last as long as possible, and then we pop Nenshin, and then we're going to last as long as possible, and then we're going to pop our katanas. I aimed mine poorly. You just want to aim these straight or diagonally top left to bottom right. But that's just... those katanas are just trying to kill the mid-sized enemies. We're holding laser as we kill the rest of the enemies before this big one here, just to generate some energy for our Nenshin mode. Even if we don't get katanas to kill that last big ship, using Nenshin slows down all the bullets and gives us damage. It's more than enough to kill the last blimp there, so we don't have to worry about him. So for this very first pattern, what we're going to do is we're going to be in the back middle, and we're going to tap very slowly as soon as we're about to be hit by the blue. These pink bullets will always be in a position like this, and if we just wait till the last second to dodge the blue, it's very easy to dodge the blue. We just make one movement, and the pink bullets will always give us a lane here. We need to be at the bottom here and holding down, so our option is at the top, so it kills these turrets and doesn't wall us off ahead of us. We escape to the back of the boss, where we're both hitting it with all of our shots since our shot's behind us. And we're escaping from the turrets. Now, these lasers here, we haven't talked about the lasers yet. If you are tagged by a laser, you don't take damage or die. You need to be hit repeatedly by a laser, and then you'll start taking chip damage to your health bar. And these lasers are really hard to see here. So we just want to dodge the blue. It's really hard to see where the red lasers are going. Like, you can try to dodge them, but really, if you get tagged by a laser, you just tap up or down, and odds are you take no to very minimal chip damage. So that's what I would do. It's far worse to get hit by a blue bullet where you actually die. For second phase, we want to generate as many gems as we can. It's going to make this next phase easier. As soon as we get kicked out, we make our way to the far left. These bullets are going to come straight down first. Now we bait one to the left, one to the middle, and now we want to make our way back around. Watch out for these Zakos. They can blindside you. As soon as these blue circles appear, we're going to pop Nenshin at the last second, and then we're going to make our way forward. We're going to try, because it slows down, we could find a way to make our way forward. If you Nenshined really early and now you got to make scary dodges, you can pop your katanas there. Now we're trying to last with our katanas as long as possible, and then we're going to let them go. We can either sit on our katanas where they cancel bullets and then escape out once the katanas lose real estate, or we could just escape backwards right away, and we should have enough damage to kill him. Don't point blank like I did. Get in position here. You need to hold focus and just tap as you're about to be hit. You really want to be holding shot here to be building some orbs, but it's fucking terrifying. The blue bullets get really condensed if you do that. This is the safe thing to do. Now, this is the hardest pattern he's got. I tried to greed to get a little bit of orbs there. Here is the terrifying pattern. So what makes this easier is knowing that these red bullets can be dodged either up or down by making one movement. One tap up or down is going to dodge these pink bullets. So really, you just need to be in a vertical blue lane where you're not being hit by these vertical blue bullets. And then you just tap up or down as you're about to be hit by the pink, and you'll be safe every time. This is a huge bomb spot. If you're scared, just bomb this shit. We're going to wait till the third, like around the third or fourth. I would do it on the third. If you have an orb, it makes the rest of the pattern easier. We want Nenshin out early, so we're generating katanas as we're shooting the boss. We're going to get kicked out of here into the back, and as soon as we get walled off, we fire off our katana. And we should have enough damage before this wave we have to start doing dodges to kill him. If you are not doing enough damage, it's because you are not popping Nenshin early enough on that hard pattern, because you're not generating enough katanas as you're doing the fight, and you do more damage in Nenshin. Otherwise, at the end there, if you didn't do enough, just pop bomb. If that second to last pattern's terrifying, pop a bomb there, and then you don't have to worry about damage too much. Just pop bomb and use Nenshin. For the next stage here, stage 5, this one's a bit fiddly. We're going to play it really safe. We want to be here on this turret and then holding focus on it and escaping out the top left where it's easy to dodge things. These planes are going to be a constant throughout this stage. And for this very first section, they're going to be different than the rest of them. They're going to start at the bottom, top, bottom. They alternate like that. The rest of the time, they're going to come in pairs of 2. So bottom, top, bottom. They're so much easier if you just memorize the positions to deal with them so they don't shoot. Now, once we're up here with this cannon for the top one, we're just holding laser. And we're going to keep holding laser, and for the rest of the section, we're just going to slowly tap down. Just to keep it brain dead, so we can automatically dodge the rest of these Zakos. See, we're going to get 2 up top. I'm holding focus just to make sure those die. We're not too worried about hit count or generating orbs. We have a bunch of orbs from the start of this section. A lot of this stage, we can be at the top left, and we kill everything that comes in. The movement of the screen is very much like stage 3. We're going to be moving up the mountain and then down the mountain. So if we're at the top here, we spawn kill everything as it comes in, and nothing spawns on the hard top left of the screen. We keep doing this, and we should have more than enough resources here. We could pop Nenshin to deal with this first pattern, and then pop katanas whenever we have to start dodging the rest of this mid-boss. Even if you don't hit all of your katanas on him, dies really fast. Just hold focus so you get extra damage on him. We're going back to the top left here, and we escape downwards, and then get back to our top left position whenever we get kicked out by any bullets, and we're killing most of them on spawn. I'm holding a shot for most everything, and then when we see a big enemy, I'm holding focus. That's going to give us some energy, and we're generating a shit ton of orbs. So any big enemy on the top left or the right side, we're just holding focus on. Once you see this plane here, that's how we're getting to this next building section. We start at the top left, and we're just going to slowly tap our way down and make this L shape. Whatever material we're missing, we can kill these 2 buildings and they generate a lot. So right now we're completely full on orbs. We hold our laser here for this last one, and we're going to generate the rest of the energy we need. You don't even need this much. Just like stage 3, after we reach the peak here, we're going to get these enemies here. I don't do it very good in this replay, but what you want to do here for these mid-sized planes, you start at the top, you kill the 2, you go to the bottom and kill these two. And then you move up while killing these Zakos, and now you're in a position where this open lane here in the middle will be aimed at you at the top. You slowly be tapping down. It's very easy to dodge them. But we're trying to use our Nenshin on this section. So once it gets too ham, we use our Nenshin. I'm trying to kill these because we got 2 sets of these. It's not good for score, but it's good for your health bar. Be in the middle here. You see this turret here? That often can get a shot off. This is the most awkward section of the run. We want to generate a decent amount of orbs and energy. The next section's fairly long, so we're going to hold our laser, hold our focus to kill this top turret. We're trying to escape down the bottom. We're going to use Nenshin anytime we're scared. We are trying to use these katanas that we generate to kill these 2 enemies here. Let's see, actually. I was either out of energy or I just didn't build any katanas. I didn't build enough energy, so our energy ran out before I could shoot our katanas. The katanas have to get to you and build, and then line up, and then you can shoot them. Make sure you build energy there so that you can actually use your katanas. These 2 enemies will die to the katanas, and you go up and kill the turret. Maybe the turret's already dead. But I had to use a bomb there since I messed up my energy resources. We're going to kill these enemies starting at the top. See, they always come in pairs of 2. They're never alternating top, bottom. They're always in pairs of 2 now. You don't need to get greedy and get between here to maximize your orb use. But we do want to build some off this boss. If you want score, you leave this shit alive. And because we can aim our ship by, we're going to hold backwards and then tap diagonal while hitting our Nenshin button. And that's going to shoot these katanas in a diagonal angle. It doesn't need to be a steep diagonal. We just need a tiny bit of diagonal, and it deals with these enemies. You do not want to follow along with it to get the orbs. Look at these enemies on the bottom. We have turrets on the bottom, and because our upward angle, we're not killing those. Stay in the back and on the bottom, so you kill these right away. Otherwise, they're going to blast you. You do it like this, and look, we have barely anything on screen. It deals with everything nicely. And we also built energy by holding a focus there. We're going to generate some orbs off this enemy. We're going to use Nenshin, regardless of whether you killed this big enemy or not on the last section for score. We do want to kill this one because we're getting another plane in here. Same thing, we're holding left. We tap down and then pop Nenshin. It hits this diagonal angle. Don't worry, even if we didn't cancel these bullets, there's a wide gap between these Zakos here. We can make everything around. This section, when the Zakos appear, we go towards the Zakos and kill those with shot. Otherwise, we're killing these big buildings with whatever resource we need. For the second one, we keep doing the same. We just kill the Zakos as they come in. But at the very bottom, once we see these turrets, we want to be on the bottom so that these tanks that come in, which are a problem, we kill those right away. It's fairly freeform section, but for those tanks, you just want to make sure that you dip down to the bottom. You stop whatever you're doing to kill those. This boss has a conundrum. Look at that secondary life bar. That life bar is really long, and it's got a hard final pattern. We can either do this first phase honestly and bring in all of our Nenshin into the second, but then we have to deal with the hard pattern at the end of the first phase and do some dodging in the first phase. We don't want to do any dodging. We have a strategy to build resources for the second phase. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to use Nenshin right away. Even though it looks like we could totally dodge these really easy first initial bullets, we're just going to pop Nenshin so we get our damage going. We're waiting for these bullets to hit us. We try to get as many katanas as we can. It's kind of hard. She moves up and down a lot. Just get as many as you can. Next pattern, we're in the middle here. This is important. We start in the middle. We're going to get an aim spread on us, and look at these seals that go up. Those always go up first, and they can hit you very easily as you're trying to dodge in this section. So we always go down. Always go down, and then we're going to move up through these bullets, and we move down through these. We automatically dodge the spread. We are not at risk of getting hit by the sigils, so we just dodge those vertical shots. We need to be in the middle, in between where these seals are. You can know where the safe spot is by going off these seals, and then by the time these bullets are here, then you can micro-adjust to make sure you're really in the middle and you're dodging these bullets. Because we did a shit ton of damage at that first phase, we're just going to try to build as many orbs as we can. And then we're watching these snakes. Look at these snakes in the middle. You see, it's kind of hard to see. You see that one? It's in the boss hitbox. Be watching that carefully. It's very easily to not be paying attention, and then you get ran by as it moves through the boss. We try to build as many orbs as we can, and then we've done so much damage that by the time the snake phase is over, we're going to skip the last attack here. So we barely had to do dodges there. We're going to move. She always moves to this static position here. So we move to where she's going to be, and then we move backwards. That puts this option right on top of her, so our option is doing point blank damage. Then you can finesse it, so you're getting both point blank on your ship and your option. I messed it up here. You can get the get a lot more generation But this is more than enough what we need. We got like 75%. That'll be fine for us. We're going to move to the back here. These are hard to dodge, so we're going to use our Nenshin and then start doing damage to the boss. The next wave of paper airplanes are going to be slowed down by being in Nenshin, so we want to dodge these. We're going to tap in the diagonals backwards to make it so we can micro-adjust easier. We want to be careful of the Zakos on the bottom. We're going to let these go once this blimp is mostly fully in, and these Zakos at the bottom, the last wave of Zakos appear. So we get a bunch of damage on her, and we get a bunch of damage that's just drilling constantly on the ship here. This is my favorite pattern in the game. It's terrifying because you're going to get pushed around by these lasers. But here's the thing. You are just dodging the blue bullets. What you want to do is practice this pattern, and you'll get comfy. These lasers are static in how they move. So they will move at the same exact timings. So you will get comfortable with the exact timings you need to be in places for. And then from that point on, you'll have the timing automatically by muscle memory of when you want to move. So you can put all of your attention on dodging just the blue bullets. You just want to be paying attention to the blue bullets. You don't even care about the red lasers because we already got the timing internalized on when we generally want to move. We just need a general idea of when we want to move, and then it's like these lasers don't even exist. We can just hard focus on the blue bullets. We're going to get nicked by a red laser in this run because I probably should have been to the right here instead of trying to scoot to the left. But look, we got tagged once because we only got tagged for a tick. Look at our health. We took no chip damage. It's fine even if we take a tiny bit of chip damage there. Watch out for these Zakos. As soon as that top wave's done, you want to escape out so you don't get hit by the right side ones. We do the same thing as we did before to build as many gems as we can. Here's the scary pattern. Look for the sound. That sound there means she's about to use this attack. We're going to dodge around it. She's going to make the sound again. All right, here comes the next set of paper airplanes. I would Nenshin right now. And now, what I would do is I would honestly, you can try to last as long as possible and then use your katanas here, but shit like that could happen because our ship moves our katanas around a lot. You could shoot them and not get all of your katanas on her. We were lucky we did a bunch of damage, so it was fine even though we didn't get that many on her. But I would just shoot your katanas off like really fast as soon as the other bullets are about to hit you. That pattern is scary because if your katanas do not kill the boss, while the katanas will block bullets for a little bit in front of her, if you don't kill her in time, then you now gotta do hard dodges in front of her. If you find that happens a lot, you probably just want to be on the far left side. It's easier to do dodges there, or I would just have your bomb button ready. Be ready to bomb there if your damage is not looking good. It's not worth trying to... You can try to do dodges, but you can get some very scary walls there. Now for Stage 6. Stage 6 is becoming one of my favorite cave stages. It's by far one of the best like cave final stages. Even when we're going for survival, we're gonna do like new techniques we haven't even seen before, and they're mad fun to do. The stage is so fun. I love this stage. At the start here, these panels that open up and spawn tanks, we have to worry about the tanks. We're just gonna sit on top of them and generate orbs, and moving backwards for the Zakos. The Zako helicopters are the only things we have to worry about. This is a lot safer than it looks, honestly. We sit on this back panel while holding focus. We get more than enough energy off all of the rest of these enemies. Now we kill the Zakos at the top. You have these panels opening up. We're gonna move to the middle here, and we're gonna wait till we can use our Nenshin. We take out a bunch of bullets that gives us a bunch of katanas and some enemies. We wait till the last second, we pop it, and we move forward along with these. We kill fucking everything so we don't have to deal with any dodging on this stage. We do have to kill this last tower, but because they don't overlap, we don't have to deal with like any vertical bullets. We escape out really easily. The next section has a bunch of battleships that are gonna come in a fixed pattern. They are gonna have pink bullets and blue bullets. The blue bullets we can completely ignore. They're a non-factor. The pink bullets are aimed on us. So we either start on the battleship and move away from it, or start away from it and move into it. This next one is in the middle. We try to point blank it with the back of our shot since it starts from behind. We get a bunch of orbs off it. This next battleship's gonna come with the bridge of enemies. You can either keep the enemies alive, move back here and use Nenshin. You'll get a lot of katanas to kill these next two battleships quickly, but you can get clipped by Zako shots as you try to set it up. What I wanted to do here is I just killed all of these right away. When the bullets start to come in, we use our Nenshin and shoot behind here. And then we're going to fire off our katanas when both battleships are present. They have a lot of health since we don't have too many katanas, so we just slowly tap to dodge these. We want to build a lot of orbs for the mid-boss, so we start off on the battleship and then moving away from it. You can get some orbs off the start of him, but don't get too greedy with it. Once these pink bullets appear, you don't even need that many resources, honestly, so don't sweat it too much. As those are about to hit you, we pop it. As these are about to hit us, we pop it. Even with only like a few katanas, this is enough to do damage. We're going to wait in front of it a bit. So just in case we didn't do enough damage, we don't get blindsided by like a quick shot from it before it dies. We're going to have some towers appearing in these panels. To make this all like super brain dead, what we're going to do is we're going to, from the bottom, we're going to hold shot and then just stream upwards for the first tower. And then for the second tower, we're going to hold laser, hold focus, and then be moving, tapping downwards in the same way. And we're going to alternate this pattern over and over and over. We'll have more than enough resources for the next section of both of our resources. And it's really easy to just tap stream all of these turrets and everything. Don't have to do any dodges at all. Once the camera is going to start to move here, start moving up. We need to slowly tap our way to the top left, and as soon as this bridge appears with enemies, as soon as you see these treads here, they're going to fire as soon as our tower, as soon as our turret is visible. So we need to Nenshin these immediately. We're going to be holding, we hold laser so that we shoot that initial wave to stop all these bullets, but then we're going to switch to shot so we don't generate any revenge bullets from holding laser. And then we're going to make our way through these and make our way back up. It's going to look scary, like these pink bullets are about to hit us, but it's always lined up like this. So as those pink bullets are there, they're very consistently like that. And then you can take them out. Make sure you kill this enemy on the right. And here's the new strategy we're going to do. Every time you get hit by a laser, even if you don't take any actual damage, you just get nicked by it once, you are going to build a ton of energy. You build like half your energy. So we're going to, since we don't have any energy here, we're going to intentionally get hit by a laser, and then when you're in Nenshin, you switch to Nenshin right away so that we don't take any damage for sure. Even if you get nicked once, it's totally fine. We have more than enough life to do what we want to do. If we get in the middle of all 4 of those lasers while holding shot, we build so many orbs. Look, we have like max orbs. We just move to the back when these Zakos are about to hit, and then we let them all go. And that's how we generated a bunch of resources from nothing. This is what it looks like. We kill that enemy on the right. We intentionally get hit, pop Nenshin, move in the middle with shot. And then as these Zakos come in, we then let them all go. The cancel will make everything easier. We hold shot once again just to make it so no revenge bullets are there. We make our way to the top. We want to shoot these off pretty fast since it gets dangerous the longer you're up there. And we get through that section. We could do the same exact thing again for this section, but we actually want to we want to manage our resources differently so we can handle the very last section better. So instead of doing that again, we just want to kill one of these helicopters with shot or laser, and because of the lasers generate so much when you kill them, look at the second helicopter. Once we kill it with whatever we're going to kill it with, so we're killing it with shot there, where the lasers are, all generate these resources. So they generate a lot. You want to kill these Zakos on the bottom. Careful, they can ram you coming up. You don't want to be too far forward. You want to be back like where we are right here. You want to be holding laser as this enemy on the bottom right is there, so you don't have to do any dodges as you go down to kill it. Here is the really hard section, so we're going to pop Nenshin around here. We're going to kill that first plane. We're going to last as long as possible. And then we're going to throw our katanas so we kill this tank up ahead. We're going to follow along with it. Those katanas will cover us. This turret spawns a ton of lasers, which is going to give us a ton of resources. We're going to kill it with shot. And then as we kill it with shot, it generates a bunch of those orbs. You see we move through this blue gap right here. This blue gap is very consistently going to be here. We can always move up to the top half of the screen. And now look, there's a turret shooting a laser. We're going to intentionally be hit by it. It's fine even with that's all the chip damage we took. We're going to swap the Nenshin immediately. Everything slows down so we can make our way to the middle. And then we hold focus to fire off all of our orbs into the middle. And they're going to cover us for a long time. And then we can fire off our katanas. Ideally, you actually leave this turret alive so you can go kill it and get resources off it, but you don't really need to. And these katanas are going to cover us for the rest of the stage. Now, we want to hold laser for a few of these tanks so we get resources off them. We need like about that much energy for the boss. And then the rest, we're just holding a shot. Our option isn't doing anything there. You kind of want your option also point blanking them. You'll generate way more resources than we did here. I'll show what that section looks like again in real time because there's a lot going on there. So we're to the part where we're getting to this laser tower on the bottom. We kill it with shot. We move up through the blue bullets. We get intentionally hit by a laser. We pop Nenshin. We wait a sec. Then we fire our orbs forward to deal with all of these bullets. We then fire off our katanas. We make our way to the right side of the screen. And then we're going to get our resources and get ready for the boss. So now on to the stage 6 boss. This boss is really scary. We haven't really had any planned bombs this run. But we're gonna plan fucking 3 of them for this boss. We are gonna have a resource strategy that mitigates us having to dodge at all, or at least as much as possible, because this is a really scary boss with a fucking horrifying second phase. So in order to mitigate that, this is the strategy we're gonna do. So we're fighting twins, and it's gonna randomly pick one of the twins, and we're gonna get a different pattern based off which twin is there. We do not care about which pattern. We are gonna Nenshin at the exact same timing for both of them, which is right away. We're gonna Nenshin, we're gonna wait for the bullets to hit us, and then we're gonna pop our katanas. It's gonna get us through this phase, and we don't have to do any dodging. The blue pattern's a bit easier to dodge. Red one's a bit harder, doesn't matter. We dodge through both of them. If you build enough katanas, then you get through this phase. Otherwise, you have to dodge these tanks for a little bit. I found the easiest way to not get overwhelmed by these tanks are to do a lot of vertical dodges. Instead of like sitting to one side and trying to hit tanks above you and killing the ones in front of you easier, what I would do is I would do vertical movements through the purple shots and like trying to get up in front on the tanks while doing mostly vertical. Now here's the spooky second phase. We try to build as many katanas as possible. It's really important. This is a horrifying pattern. While that life bar doesn't look very long on the second phase, it is long as fuck. The way this works is these pink shots are going to be aimed on us. These pink are aimed on us, and these blue spreads get really wide. We are alternating here between bottom left and top right of a position of this little pizza slice created by 2 of these pink slots. So like this little range we're in right now, we're going on top right of it, bottom left of it. And this pattern will constantly introduce new bullets that we'll have to deal with. And we're going to say, fuck it. That shit is really hard. The problem I found with doing it raw is you can get blindsided by these pink bullets very, very easily. And you can run out of room very easily too. We are just planning 2 bombs. So this initial section where we just can easily dodge bottom left, top right, bottom left, top right. You start moving as soon as the pink bullets appear, and you can safely get through it. Now we see these bottom shots come out, and we are just for safety just going to bomb it as soon as they come in. And now we just move down, or we just dodge like a couple until it's spooky. You can bomb way earlier than I did. You can bomb off like the second wave and still kill it really fast. We just need to get that section out of the way. Now here, you don't need to point blank for orbs. I just did for greed. As soon as we're about to be hit, we're going to pop Nenshin. We're going to use the slowdown to get through the rest of this pattern. And then, as soon as these come in, which wall us in, we're going to use our katanas. Now, if you want to just 2-bomb this boss, we use 2 bombs on the second phase. How you do it is you go in the diagonal down here. And this range here, you can't dodge it forward. You need to be on this diagonal, and you can do up and down dodges. It's a little bit scary, though. And you do have to worry about these horizontal shots here. I had a no-miss run die here because of these horizontal shots that went too high up. If you want to just guarantee that the boss dies right after these katanas happen, and the katanas are no longer canceling these bullets, you just pop a bomb here and it insta-dies. That's a way you can 3-bomb this boss, and then you're set. You're onto the final boss. This is the final boss. There are 2 potential final bosses. If you play the game normally, you get this one with the green aura. If you no-miss the game, you get one with the red aura. That is a TLB. For this boss, we want to start above him and slowly crawl our way around the screen based off the sides of these blue shots. That way, at the very end here, we don't have to make any complicated dodges, and we're ready for this next part. Now, this next one is really hard. So we're going to bomb and then move up, use shot to build some resources. We only need 1 orb on our ship. We're going to pop Nenshin really early, get some damage in. As soon as we get a katana, fire it off and this phase is over. Watch out for these blue bullets. They're still active after the boss explodes. They won't get canceled. We want to build a bunch of orbs on this boss as it takes a while for him to get started. And it's easier to point blank him when we're shooting him from behind. So we're just going to get a bunch of orbs. We see this portal in the middle. As soon as we see the portal, we hold focus so we build energy and we get back over here. As soon as it gets scary, pop Nenshin, we get our katanas, we throw our katanas out. Now, we're going to use the katanas to cover us for a little bit, and we're going to build some orbs, but before the katanas end, we're going to pop a planned bomb here, build some resources, and make sure that you are also building some energy. You only need a tiny bit of katanas, build some energy unlike what I did here where I went for mostly orbs. Then you're going to pop Nenshin again. Because I didn't have energy, our Nenshin runs out. If you do build enough energy, then you shoot your like 2 or 3 katanas and the boss phase is over. Here's what happens if you ran out of energy, you didn't have enough. We are going to purposely get hit here by a laser, so we build energy and immediately swap the Nenshin. Even if we get hit by one of these bullets up ahead, whenever you get hit by a bullet in Nenshin, it does damage to your timer, and then you flip back to your normal mode. You don't actually die. And by this point, the boss is dead, so we don't have to worry even if we get hit there. Now we're going to build orbs. You see his voice line. That's when he's going to shoot this pattern, so don't get too greedy. You need to know when he's about to fire so you can know when you're stop building gems and then start moving backwards. Once we're a bit scared, we pop Nenshin. Then we're going to chuck these katanas out. Once we don't want to do any more dodging, we're going to point blank this gem up here and get a bunch of orbs. And then we're going to intentionally, once again, hit this laser so we build a bunch of energy. And now we move back, pop Nenshin again, and we shoot our katanas again, and that's all you have to do to clear this final phase. You automatically get your orbs off this gem, and the energy off the lasers. And you just completely annihilate this last phase. So if you get comfy with that second phase, get comfy with the first phase, the last one you can out-resource, and it's not bad at all. Now for the TLB, you get here by no missing the whole game, and you'll know you've reached him, because he's going to have this red aura. And to be completely honest, he's not that much more difficult than the actual final boss, and he has no bomb shield. Because you know to get here, you can just bomb the fuck out of him, even completely blind, and clear him. But if you want to actually know how to do him, here's like a strategy we can do. We are safe at the bottom for most of these, and then whenever we get kicked out of here, we can move up and in here. It's not as scary as it looks because the slowdown is so much, and you actually have a lot of room to micro in between these if you want. It's really not that bad. He's going to move to the middle, and we're going to move clockwise along with this pattern. Have your bomb ready for when we go on the bottom half here. These paper airplanes could block off where we want to go, or the pink bullets could be annoying. Either way, just have your bomb ready if that's a problem. We managed to get through here. Wherever he's at, he's going to move to the middle and then move backwards. Make sure you don't get rammed by him. He's going to shoot this pattern here. We want to be under him, so we're safe from all this fuckery on the left. We cannot dodge these based off his sound cue. His sound cue is really late. These needles are going to pop up. We need to react to these needles visually as soon as they appear and then start tapping. From then on, we're looking at these paper airplanes and making sure they don't ram us. Look at this pink one here. It's about to reach us. In between each wave, we can comfortably move around. It's not a big deal. You can reposition fairly easy in between them. Even though all these bullets on the left are moving away, we need to make sure that we dodge this last wave here. Now it's going to repeat back to the easy phase. We'll kill it here. Not too bad. We'll get ready for the second phase. The second phase is the really hard phase. We are going to point blank him for as much orbs as we can. And as soon as a portal appears that the gem will spawn on, that's when we need to haul ass away. So we're point blanking. This portal appears. We don't want to ram into this gem, so we get away from it. We need to fucking be way back, way earlier than I did. And then once we're scared or have to make a hard dodge, pop Nenshin. That's going to give us a little bit of leeway. And now we're going to try to last in Nenshin as long as possible since we use the slowdown to make these dodges actually possible. And then you're going to shoot your katanas as late as you can to get through the rest of this phase. I tried to be a hero, so I got tagged here, but luckily it was towards the end of the phase. But you really do want to end the phase cleanly because the next pattern is the hardest pattern. This is going to shoot a big aimed wave at you. You need to be close to him and very aggressively moving as soon as he shoots. It's very, very hard. I would honestly just bomb this pattern, to be honest. You have so many bombs. You just bomb this pattern and do your best. Or even, I would just honestly die here on purpose if you're doing too much damage, just to ensure that this gem gets to the middle. We want this gem to be in the middle, so it's set up for the next phase. This gem will appear, it will stay here for the final pattern wherever we left it. We need it in the middle for the setup here. So we're farming off the gem. We're going to pop Nenshin when it's scary. We're going to wait till we're about to be hit again. We're going to shoot our katanas, and now we're going to use the katanas to cover us. We're farming resources off the gem. We're going to get hit by these lasers on purpose so that we get energy. And now we can just keep repeating that. We do that once again. We fire off our katanas, and by this point, it's dead. We don't even need to bomb this last pattern. By setting up that gem in the middle, you can very, very easily set up this way that we get infinite resources to not have to do a single dodge. And congrats, that's a TLB. Hopefully this could help you out with your own clears of this game if you're interested in survival. These were the best strategies I could kind of find by putting together different people's replays. And it's very, very consistent at getting through here, and we leave a lot of bombs on the table. So if you have a pattern that either you can't set it up like this or you find some of the damage checks hard, feel free to just pop your bombs whenever. You have 5 lives worth of bombs, and we really only had planned bombs on that stage 6 boss, so feel free to use them, and good luck on your runs.